Hello, in this presentation I want to tell you about UML class diagrams. As you can see, a unified modeling language, also known as UML, is a general-purpose modeling language that is intended to provide a standard way to visualize the design of a system. In general, UML class diagrams are commonly used by software developers, analysts, and other professionals involved in the design, development, and documentation of software system. Here you can see UML diagrams types, and today I will tell you about class diagram. As you can see, each class is represented by a rectangle subdivided into three components: name, attributes, and operations, which is also known as methods. Also, modifiers are used to indicate visibility of attributes and operations. In such way, they can be divided into public. The public modifier makes a class, method, or field accessible from any other class in any package. Private, the private modifier makes a method or field accessible only within the same class. And protected, the protected modifier makes a method or field accessible within the same class or any subclass. And we use plus for public visibility, hash for protected, minus for private, and tilde for package visibility. Here you can see example of class account with fields string client name and string private double balance, and methods add funds, withdraw, and transfer. And on the right side you can see the UML representation of this class. Here, if you open our ID, and let's see our account in ID and its code, and generate UML diagram, and we also can see such diagram of class account. Here's our methods and fields. In general, there are such types of relationship: generalization, for example, parent-child relationship; association, for example, student enrolled in course; and association relationship can be further classified as aggregation and composition. Here you can see the chart of relationship. For example, generalization can be explained by account and checking account class that extends account, and association with library that can have a number of books. This is called aggregation. And this is example of generalization relationship. Here is class account, which is extended by two classes: checking account and savings account. And on the right side you can see the UML diagram of these classes. And generalization relationship expresses a parent-child relationship among related classes. Child class in that way extends parent class. And here is our code, and let's build our UML diagram. And here in ID we can see our class saving account, and which extends our class account and UML diagram. Here you can see an example of association relationship. From the left side you can see class book with fields title and author and constructor book, and on the right side here is public class library with a list of instances of class book, and also a constructor library and method add book. So one library can have a number of books, and this is an aggregation relationship. Here you can see our ID and representation of these classes. book and library. And if we run method main, we can see that our library contains of these books, book 1 and book 2. And here we can see our UML diagram. So one library can contain a number of books. So this is also a representation of aggregation relationship, because books can exist independently of the library and they are not destroyed or modified when they are added to or removed from the library. Another type of relationship is composition. For example, the components or for example engine or wheels are owned exclusively by the object of the car. So if the object is destroyed, the components are also destroyed, and if car is destroyed, so do the wheels and an engine. And components in composition relationship cannot exist independently of the owner. Wheels and engine cannot exist independently of car, and components can have only one owner. Here is example of composition relationship: class car and class engine and class wheels. So car can have only one engine and an array of wheels. And here is our ID and example of such classes and relationship. So example of car and its parts can serve as a good example of composition relationship, because such objects are interrelated and cannot exist independently. And let's also show our dependencies, and here is our UML diagram. Here you can see other types of relationship: association, which is depicted with straight line, dependency with arrow, aggregation with diamond, and composition with field in diamond. There is also inheritance and realization. And let's see a complex example when there is bank, and bank can have accounts and ATMs. So let's suppose this bank account is composition relationship and bank ATMs is aggregation relationship. And also our account, for example, checking account extends our class account and implements interface transfer. And let's proceed with our ID to show the example of such classes. Here is our class account, ATM, checking account, interface transfer, and class bank. And let's see our UML diagram of all these classes. So here we can see our bank and account composition relationship and bank ATM aggregation relationship, and also our checking account extends account, it's like parent-child relationship, and our checking account implements interface transfer. So this is like a complex example of many different relationships. So that was my presentation about UML diagrams, and thank you for your attention.